Hi, everyone. It's Susan with the Narcissistic Abuse Journey Alliance. Well, isn't life interesting? Barnacle Bill, the Hoovering Klingon narcissist, rears his ugly head once again, this time after 18 years. He can't let go. Clinging on to the past to get narcissistic supply, hanging on with each white knuckle. He's empty inside, bored, looking for new supply constantly to make him feel energized. Extreme narcissists are damaged goods. Their lives consist of smoke and mirrors. Most of them are opportunists and latch onto sources of supply for material reasons. Not all narcissists are created equal. Narcissism is on a spectrum, but most extreme narcissists have a combination of overt and covert traits. For those of you who have been following me, you know that my husband Nick, died 4 years ago after a valiant struggle with a rare, incurable, slowly degenerative neuromuscular disease called Friedreich's ataxia. Nick was an empath, not a toxic narcissist. He was ambitious, gave back, and made the world a better place. NAJ are Nick's initials, the birth and inspiration for the Narcissistic Abuse Journey Alliance. Nick's parents are toxic narcissists, but he and I both had narcissists in our immediate and extended families. Narcissists are everywhere. Shortly after Nick died, 3 ex-narcissistic boyfriends showed up from my past, my teenage to early 20 years. I'm in my 50s now. Guys I hadn't talked to in over 30 years. There was no contact at all. They obviously were stalking me on the internet over the years, and when Nick died, I guess they thought it was an opportunity to get back in touch with me and get some supply. I did a video on the narcissist Hoovers after 30 years. It was one of my first videos. Check it out when you have a chance. These fiends seem to never give up, clinging aimlessly for years. Having a stable or harem of fans waiting in the wings is so crucial to their survival. They use people at the highest level in order to feel good about themselves. They're not grounded individuals. I can honestly say now, after having this experience, that 98% of narcissists will Hoover, especially if you broke it off with them. That's a big narcissistic injury, and they never forget. So, 3 ex-narcissists showed up after Nick died, which I nicknamed Larry, Curly, and Moe. I will also add that I had a very long relationship with a covert narcissist in the middle years between these knuckleheads and getting married. I haven't heard from him yet. These narcissists that contacted me all are married. I think, and this is my opinion, I think it's so disrespectful to go behind your spouse's back and contact an old flame. Narcissists are drug addicts. They need their fix. They never have your back and are not loyal. They are non-committal in every way, not just to you in the relationship, but to themselves too. They have no discipline. After the holidays this year, Barnacle Bill, the 4th narcissist, showed up. This was someone I went with a couple years before I met my husband Nick, and after that long relationship that I had. Nick and this guy were in the same industry, so we would see him around once in a while at engineering events. Nick was a mechanical engineer, and his focus was energy analysis. When Nick and I started dating, I asked Nick initially, "Do you know so-and-so? He's in your field." And Nick bursted out laughing. And I said, "What?" And he said, "Everyone thinks that guy is a weirdo, a real idiot." So there I had it. Validation for all the crap that guy put me through, which of course was my own fault, but whatever. I had canceled one of my emails a long time ago, the email that Barnacle Bill, this particular narc, had. So he didn't have an email on tap to see if he could get in touch with me. But narcissists are predators and stealth, stalkers, and they will prowl around. I do a lot of photography and have a website for that. He found that website on the internet and contacted me through that email. I was at work when I received the email. I screamed and started laughing and said out loud, "Oh my effing God." One of my colleagues came rushing into my office and said, "Are you all right?" And I said, "I don't believe this. I really don't." And then I told her the story. He said he caught himself thinking about me. That was real cute. He knew Nick died, but didn't address it. Invalidation 101. Most narcissists are passive-aggressive and don't spearhead anything. They're lazy and have an inferiority complex. Larry, Curly, and Mo from my previous video also didn't acknowledge Nick's death. When I responded to this guy, I said, "You know Nick died, right?" I consider myself a straight shooter, so yes, it bugged me that he was beating around the bush and didn't acknowledge Nick and my loss. But I'm in the field here wanting to bring forth this information, and I know all too well what I'm dealing with. He wrote back a long email saying, "Yes, word traveled fast throughout the industry about Nick." My husband was a force to be reckoned with and was affectionately referred to as an engineer's engineer. He was well respected in his field and had many great friends and was well loved. What an idiot indeed. Just looking for narcissistic supply after 18 years. I responded to his email because I was curious. I know what the game is now. My eyes are wide open. And I know I was giving him supply, but I wanted to hear what he had to say. He wrote a long email back talking about himself and his life difficulties, how he had no time to himself and how he felt he was out of shape. That was a good one. I'm sure he's not out of shape. He was always into health and fitness and liked to cook. He leaned more towards an overt narcissist, but had many covert traits as well. So that was just a pity ploy, a bait for me to write back and say how I remember him as always being fit and he couldn't possibly be overweight. Give him some real good supply. I did nothing of the sort, and now we'll let it lay. I have no intentions of responding to that email. It's interesting to me, though, how generally negative the email was. A narcissist is never happy. They truly live in a world of hurt. And he didn't say anything nice about his wife, or mention her at all. All these narcissists that contacted me are married. I think it's disrespectful and shows how desperate and bored they get. I have to laugh, and I'm not happy at all that I attracted these fiends over the years, but it is what it is. Narcissists are invalidating, lying, cheating, ruthless bloodsuckers, master manipulators too. They only care about themselves. They don't care about anyone else. They are severely limited. Their brain does not function in the same way as a healthy individual's does. They are incapable of connecting with others on a meaningful level. Science backs this up. Everything has to be on their terms. They're rigid and control freaks at the highest level. It's awful, really. That lack of empathy they possess is so insulting, and when I say insulting, I mean so shocking. When you see the mask slip, it is so evident that no one is home. No one who cares, no one who can ever see your point of view, no real understanding whatsoever. They are consummate actors, and at first they are so convincingly charming and seemingly caring. It's disturbing, isn't it? After we realize what the real deal is and what is really going on. constant triangulation and cheating, emotionally and physically. And the pathological lying is out of sight. They're just flailing around in life, riding back and forth on that train going nowhere. No growth whatsoever. Yeah, Barnacle Bill, the Hoovering Narcissist, is alive and well. He or she lives on, constantly trying to relieve themselves all over others. They always have a pot of shit sauce simmering on the back burner, still hoovering, holding on to the past and flying low, slithering around in the grass like the pathetic slippery snake that he or she was born to be. Sending you all a tight hug and love, and I'll be in touch again soon.